Beloved, hear this truth and let it settle deep into the quiet places of your spirit. There comes a sacred moment in every chosen life, when destiny begins to speak louder than doubt. A moment when the voice of God rises above the noise of opinions, expectations, and limitations placed on you by others. A moment when heaven leans in close, gentle, yet firm, and whispers, "Stand up, child. It is your time." And when that moment arrives, it is never ordinary. Your rise was never random. It was never accidental. It was never a coincidence of circumstances or luck. Your becoming was orchestrated by God Himself, thread by thread, prayer by prayer, moment by moment, long before anyone else recognized the greatness resting inside you, long before your name was spoken in rooms of influence, long before your strength was visible, long before your confidence had a voice. Some people saw your childhood, but they never saw your calling. Some noticed your mistakes, but they never recognized your mantle. Some watched you stumble, break, and fall apart, but they never saw the unseen hands of God holding every shattered piece together. That is why your rise will shock them. There were seasons when silence walked beside you like an uninvited companion, seasons when obscurity wrapped itself around your shoulders like a heavy cloak. You looked around and wondered why others were celebrated, applauded, and elevated while you walked quietly, unnoticed, carrying dreams no one seemed interested in acknowledging. You questioned your worth. You questioned your timing. You questioned whether God had forgotten your name. But listen closely now, and let this truth rewrite the lies you once believed. You were never overlooked. You were hidden, and there is a sacred, powerful difference between the two. To be overlooked means someone failed to see your value. To be hidden means God intentionally covered you, protected you, and kept you out of sight while He completed His work within you. Hiddenness is not rejection. Hiddenness is preparation. Hidden things are precious. Hidden things are sacred. Hidden things are revealed only when they are ready and not a moment sooner. Think of a seed planted deep in the earth. No one stands above the soil applauding its effort. No one cheers for its roots as they push through darkness. No one celebrates the moment its shell cracks open in silence. And yet, beneath the surface, something miraculous is happening. Strength is forming. Structure is developing. Life is being built in secret. The seed does not grow for the applause. It grows because it was designed to rise, and when the season shifts, when the sun calls to it, and the soil can no longer contain what God placed inside, it rises. Not because the world watched, not because people believed in it, but because God ordained it. That is you. Every quiet season, every overlooked moment, every time you were unseen but still faithful. God was not delaying you, He was developing you. He was shielding you from premature exposure. He was guarding your calling from hands that could not handle it. This has always been you. Hidden, protected, prepared, not forgotten, set apart. And when the time comes for you to rise, no explanation will be needed. Heaven will confirm what the world failed to see. There were moments when tears fell quietly because you felt unseen, not just unseen by people, but unseen in your effort, your sacrifices, your faithfulness. You gave your best with no applause. You poured your heart into things that seemed to produce little recognition. You showed up when it would have been easier to walk away. And still, the doors you prayed for did not open. You wondered why your kindness was overlooked, why your talent remained unnoticed, why your hard work did not lead to the breakthroughs you believed God had promised. In those moments, you quietly asked yourself, "Is something wrong with me?" But God was never silent. He was whispering gently, patiently, lovingly, "Not yet, my child. Stay hidden while I finish you." Hiddenness is not punishment. Hiddenness is God's sanctuary for the chosen. He hides you so the wrong hands cannot mishandle your calling. He hides you so envy cannot poison your spirit. He hides you so premature exposure cannot weaken the strength He is building within you. What felt like delay was actually divine restraint. Some opportunities slipped through your fingers, and at the time they felt painful, even confusing, but they were never meant for you. They would have demanded a version of you that God was still shaping. Some people walked away, and their absence felt like rejection. But their chapter in your story had already ended. God was removing what could not go with you where you were headed. Some rooms never opened their doors to you, but those rooms had ceilings too low for the wings God was growing on your back. Every closed door was not rejection, it was protection. While the world saw stillness, God was working. He was shaping your character in the dark, where ego cannot survive and authenticity is born. He was refining your courage in silence, where fear is confronted and faith learns how to stand alone. He was sharpening your discernment in solitude, teaching you to hear His voice without distraction. Those hidden years when no one clapped, no one noticed, And no one understood where the years that built holy vessels do not resent the seasons where life felt slow and progress seemed invisible. Do not despise the chapters where nothing appeared to move. Those moments were not empty. They were essential. They were not wasted pages. They were the foundation God was strengthening your roots beneath the surface so that when the wind came and it always comes you would not be uprooted. He was anchoring you deeply so success would not make you proud. And adversity would not make you bitter. The quiet seasons taught you patience. The lonely seasons taught you discernment. The waiting seasons taught you trust. While others rushed ahead, God taught you how to stand firm. While others chased applause, God taught you obedience. While others relied on affirmation, God taught you endurance. And now, as the season shifts, the world is about to witness what heaven has always known. They will see strength where they expected weakness. They will see wisdom where they expected uncertainty. They will see confidence shaped by humility. But you will know the truth. You were built in silence. You were strengthened in obscurity. You were prepared in secret, and because of that, when you rise, you will stand unshaken. There comes a sacred moment when God lifts the veil and allows the world to witness what He has been preparing in secret. When that moment arrives, it does not tiptoe in quietly. It does not ask permission. It does not wait for approval. It echoes. It unsettles. It disrupts what people thought they understood. And yes, it will shock your family. Families often remember who you were, not who you are becoming. They hold tightly to familiar versions of you, the child they raised, the sibling they corrected, the one they believed they fully understood. They judge you by the chapter they walked in on, forgetting that God has continued writing your story long after they stopped paying attention to the pages. They did not witness the private prayers. They did not hear the silent cries. They did not see the battles you fought when no one else was watching. They saw your struggles, but not the scaffolding God was building beneath them. They noticed your wounds, but not the healing hands of heaven restoring you piece by piece. They remember your failures, but they never saw the fire that refined you rather than destroyed you. So when God elevates you, it forces people, especially family, to reevaluate everything they assumed about you. Your growth challenges their memories. Your confidence contradicts their expectations. Your strength disrupts the roles they assigned you long ago. Some will celebrate you with sincere joy, grateful to witness what God has done. Others will grow quiet, unsure how to reconcile who you are now with who they remember. And some will attempt to pull you back into old patterns, old labels, and old limitations because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Stand firm. Do not shrink to make others feel familiar again. Do not apologize for becoming who God called you to be. Do not explain what God has already confirmed. Your rise is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is not a sudden turn of fate. It is the manifestation of every tear you cried when no one comforted you, every prayer you whispered in the dark, every moment you chose faith over fear, obedience over comfort, and hope over despair. While others slept, you prayed. While others doubted, you endured. While others gave up, you kept going even when you didn't understand how. They may call your rise sudden because they did not see the process. They did not see the years of discipline, the nights of wrestling with God, the choices to walk away from things that would have delayed your destiny. They did not see the courage it took to keep believing when evidence was thin. But you know the truth. Nothing about you is sudden. You were growing the whole time quietly, steadily, faithfully. You were becoming stronger when no one noticed. You were gaining wisdom in places that never made headlines, and now that God has chosen to reveal what He cultivated in secret, your rise stands as a testimony, not of self-made success, but of divine timing, not of human approval, but of heavenly purpose. Let them be surprised. Let them ask questions. Let them wonder. You do not owe them an explanation. Your life speaks for itself. The same God who held you in obscurity is the God who now lifts you into visibility. And when He does, no opinion, memory, or assumption can stop what He has ordained. Your rise will shock them, but heaven has been expecting it all along. Pain was never sent to destroy you, it was sent to shape you. What tried to break you became the very thing that built you. Every tear you shed, every scar you carry, every silent battle you fought, carved wisdom deep into your soul. Pain became your teacher, stern and uninvited, yet holy in its purpose. It taught you how to bend without breaking, how to survive quietly, and how to rise even when hope felt thin and strength felt distant. People see your strength now, but they did not see the nights you cried alone, praying through exhaustion and confusion. They admire your wisdom, but they do not know it was forged in heartbreak and disappointment. They notice your glow, but they do not realize it came from walking through fire that should have consumed you. Pain refined you. Pain sharpened your discernment. Pain gave you perspective. Where others grew bitter, you grew deeper. Where others shut down, you learned how to feel and still move forward. Pain stripped away illusions and left you face to face with your raw, unfiltered self. And though that encounter was uncomfortable, it was necessary, because it is in those honest moments that true strength is born. God does not waste pain. He transforms it into power. There were moments when life knocked the breath out of you, moments when you questioned your purpose, your worth, even your ability to keep going, moments when survival itself felt like an act of courage. But every time you stood back up, something within you grew stronger, something within you matured. You survived what was meant to destroy you. You rose from ashes that should have ended you. You carried burdens that would have crushed others, and you kept walking. Pain taught you patience when nothing changed overnight. Pain taught you compassion for wounds you could not see. Pain taught you humility without stripping you of confidence. It gave you a depth that cannot be imitated and a strength that cannot be borrowed. And now, you carry a glow that cannot be faked, only earned. It is not the glow of perfection, but the glow of endurance. Not the shine of ease, but the radiance of survival. It is the light that belongs to those who have been through the fire and came out refined rather than ruined. That glow speaks without words. That speaks of resilience when life was heavy. It speaks of faith when answers were delayed. It speaks of courage when quitting would have been easier. Your pain shaped your voice. When you speak now, there is authority behind your words. When you listen, there is compassion in your presence. When you choose your path, there is discernment guiding your steps. You are no longer easily shaken because you have already endured the worst. You no longer fear uncertainty because pain taught you how to stand in the unknown. You no longer seek validation from others because survival taught you who you are. What hurt you did not harden you, it strengthened you. What wounded you did not weaken you, it refined you. What tried to silence you gave you a voice that carries weight. And as you stand here now, stronger, wiser, and more grounded, remember this truth. Your power did not come in spite of your pain. It came because of it. You are living proof that pain can become purpose. Wounds can become wisdom, and ashes can become beauty. And that quiet, steady glow you carry, it is the testimony of a soul that refused to break. You were never the odd one out. You were never misplaced, misunderstood by accident, or different without purpose. You were the interruption heaven sent. You are the one chosen to break cycles that lingered for generations. The one who questioned what others accepted without thought. The one who felt different because your soul was designed to carry change. What others called sensitivity, rebellion, or restlessness was actually discernment and courage. Awakening within you, you are the breakthrough of your bloodline. You broke patterns by choosing healing over silence. You broke chains by choosing truth over comfort. You broke curses by daring to dream of more than survival. While others learned how to endure, you learned how to transform. While others repeated what they were taught, you felt a holy resistance rise within you, a quiet refusal to pass pain forward. You carried a burden that was never just your own, because you were never living only for yourself. But elevation requires one final act of courage. Forgiveness, not because the people who hurt you earned it, not because the wounds no longer ache, but because your destiny demands freedom. Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened. It is not excusing harm or minimizing pain. Forgiveness is the decision to release yourself from the weight of what has already passed so it no longer controls your future. It is choosing peace without waiting for permission. You cannot rise with clenched fists. You cannot soar with wounded wings. As long as resentment grips your heart, it anchors you to places God is calling you out of. As long as bitterness lingers, it clouds your vision and exhausts your spirit. God is not asking you to deny your pain. He is asking you to lay it down so it does not follow you into the next season. When you forgive, you make room for peace to settle where chaos once lived, room for clarity to replace confusion, room for God to breathe fresh life into your spirit. Forgiveness lightens your soul. It restores your strength. It sharpens your focus. It does not change the past, but it transforms how the past lives inside you. Each act of forgiveness loosens another chain you were never meant to carry. And when God lifts you, and your presence will no longer echo pain. It will radiate healing. Your words will carry wisdom instead of wounds. Your silence will carry peace instead of resentment. Your life will testify without needing explanation. Your rise will shock them, but your healing will free you. Free you to love without fear. Free you to lead without bitterness. Free you to walk into abundance without dragging old hurt behind you. You are not rising to prove anything. You are rising because heaven prepared you. Your elevation is not a reward for perfection, it is the result of obedience, endurance, and surrender. So walk boldly into your elevation, not with pride, but with peace. Not with anger, but with grace. Not with revenge, but with purpose. Heaven is watching, God is guiding, and your season has arrived. What you healed will heal others. What you broke will free generations. What you forgave will unlock doors you never imagined. You were chosen for this moment, and you are ready.